Hey YouTube, welcome back. We're continuing a series of videos about Trump's cabinet. These people are special because he gets to pick them personally. These aren't people that the Democrats pick for him. He really has no excuses of why he's chosen these people. He must have thought they were the best candidate for the job, right? So what kind of people has Trump chosen as his closest advisors, his MVPs? Today we look at Betsy DeVos. Now, Betsy DeVos was tapped to be the Secretary of Education. So first, let's look at the position itself. Okay, here we see that the Secretary of Education is responsible for ensuring equal access to education and to promote educational excellence throughout the nation. So if educational excellence throughout the nation is the goal, where can we make the most impact? The best way to figure this out is to look at where the majority of kids get their education. Here we see nearly 50 million students were projected to enroll in a public school in 2019. Data shows that about 3 million attended charter schools and 6 million attended private schools. It's clear that the overwhelming majority of students or of children in the U.S. attend public schools. And since the goal is economic excellence throughout the nation, the place to make the biggest impact would be in public schools where the majority of kids are educated. It's obvious. Now, this immediately calls Trump's choice for Betsy DeVos into question, someone who has advocated for private and charter schools for nearly 3 decades. Okay, Betsy DeVos has never had a job in the school sector or in the education sector, I should say. No surprise there. Trump has a pattern of choosing people with little to no experience in the field that they've been chosen to represent. Betsy DeVos' career, if you will, in education started in the late 90s in the state of Michigan. I mean, Betsy DeVos was one of the architects of Michigan's charter school system. The idea was that school choice would provide competition within the public education system, which would force schools to up their game. The overall school system would reap benefits. However, research has shown that Michigan, as a whole, has fallen behind the nation in test scores, on-time high school graduation, and adults finishing college. For many urban districts, most notably Detroit public schools, school choice has meant the loss of students, which translates to loss of funding, program cuts, and in some cases, closing of schools. And it's no secret that the overwhelming majority of students in public schools come from low-income families or lower-income families. The obvious reason these families can't afford to put their children in private schools. Now, generally speaking, I mean, that's not a problem. Your parents are rich. You don't have to go to the poor school, right? Is it a borderline form of segregation? I mean, rich, segregating the rich from the poor? I mean, possibly a topic for another video, but we don't have to go to like conspiracy theories on Betsy DeVos. There's a clear issue with her past and present and with privatization as a whole. The issue that should receive the most attention is the voucher program. She's touted this many years. This is a program that takes public funding and gives it to families who then put the money towards private school tuition. Yeah, that's right. In private schools, don't answer to taxpayers the same way public schools do, which is also a problem. Now, some people want you to believe that school choice gives families options where and how their children are educated, but we have to ask ourselves, why would we take funds away from public schools, where the majority of students are educated, and give them to private schools? Now, here's just a sample of what your tax dollars will get you. Okay, 33 states allow for-profit companies to manage their charter schools. 18 states do not mandate services for students with disabilities. 15 states with voucher programs fail to require background checks for teachers. That seems alarming. 9 states have at least one program that doesn't require private schools receiving vouchers to be accredited. All right, you think that's bad? Here's some more. 30 states were shown to give children of board members and employees an advantage for enrollment. Nah, I mean, that's not unfair at all. 13 states have no conflict of interest requirements between charter board members and service providers. So I guess we're just using the honor system here. All this is a joke. Besides the lack of transparency, and I'm saying, not that it's not true, I'm saying that the whole system, the idea of this charter system helping public education is a joke. Besides the lack of transparency, accountability, and a clear conflict of interest, why people are still advocating for this school choice system is beyond me. Now, Betsy DeVos and her family have a history of donating to politicians. So I guess, though this is interesting, what I'm about to show you, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Okay, during the 2014 and 2016 election cycle, DeVos and her relatives gave at least $800,000 to 20 Republican senators. Many of these Republican senators just so happened to be on the committee who oversaw her confirmation hearing. Again, just like with Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, I could go on and on about DeVos, okay? Just look into DeVos and DeVry University, okay? DeVry University faced many lawsuits prior to the election in 2016 for defrauding students. And then once DeVos gets into office, she decides to hire one of the deans who used to work at DeVry. And now she's in charge of deciding whether or not they're going to be paying out these lawsuits for these defrauded students. So anyway, let's get to the point of the video. Why did Trump tap this individual for the job? Okay, she's done little to nothing for public schools, which have been crumbling for decades. Teachers all over the nation are underpaid, short on supplies, class sizes keep increasing. Why did Trump think that DeVos was the best candidate for the job when her school choice plan in Michigan didn't even pan out? I mean, was the idea to then apply this plan that's obviously questionable to the entire nation? Why? When his candidate has consistently chosen to focus on the minority, in this case being private schools and charter schools, instead of the majority. As always, what is motivating Trump's decisions? And are those motivations the best thing for America going forward? Thanks for watching. Next video is going to be about Rex Tillerson. I know he was already fired. And who Trump chose to replace Rex Tillerson. Bye for now.